Good morning. Now I discuss applications of Gauss law. Electric field due to an infinitely long charged wire. This is a long charged wire. A diagram. The charged wire like a plus Q charge present in the wire. Consider a point P from the wire with the distance R. The rod experiences a electric field E vector. The linear charge density of the rod or wire is lambda. Lambda is equal to charge per unit length. That is lambda is equal to Q by L. Very important 5-mark question. Electric field due to an infinitely long charged wire. So lengthy charged wire use பண்ணி நம்ம electric field find பண்ண போறோம். Consider an infinitely long charged wire having a uniform linear charge density lambda. Let P be a point located at a perpendicular distance r from the wire. This is a wire, the distance r at the point P. So the point P is perpendicular to the wire. The electric field at the point P can be found using a Gauss law. At the point, how much electric field is produced by the wire? That is a infinitely long charged wire. So by using a Gauss law, we can choose the two small charges element A1 and A2. Consider on the wire. But the electric field topic already discussed in the Coulombic force concept, but now I discuss Gauss law concept. So the small charge element A1 and A2, the red area, which are at equal distance from the point P. This is a point P. Distance are equal between the points. So the resultant electric field due to these two charges element point radially away from the charge element wire. So the electric fields are away from the charged wire. This is a resultant electric field. That also electric field E vector. So the electric fields are away from the charged wire. So the magnitude of the electric field is same at all points on the circle of radius r. This is a radius r. The circle of radius r at all the points, electric field will be same from the wire. So the charged wire possesses a cylindrical symmetry. This is the uniform electric field in opposite direction. All the fields are moving from conductor. This like. So the charged wire possesses a cylindrical symmetry. Let us choose a cylindrical Gaussian surface. This is a cylindrical Gaussian surface. This is a cylindrical Gaussian surface with radius r from the wire and length L. The length of the cylinder will be L. So the total electric flux in this closed surface. This is a closed surface. On top, on the bottom, on the surface of the cylinder. This is. Here, electric field and area vector normal is perpendicular. Here also perpendicular. But here, electric field and area vector both are along the same direction. So the electric flux in this closed surface this is closed surface, this cylindrical, will be calculated as follows. Pi equal to closed integral E vector dot dA vector. So on the top, on the curved surface, the integral, the curved surface integral E vector dot dA vector plus the top surface integral E vector dot dA vector plus bottom surface integral E vector dot dA vector. These three portions will be added: top, bottom and curved surface. This is the flux for three portions will be added. It is seen from the figure that for the curved surface E vector is parallel to A vector. Here E vector is parallel to the A vector. This is a unit vector n cap, that is a normal vector. This is surface area A vector, that's A vector and E vectors are so parallel to each other. So the curved surface E vector is parallel to the A vector and E vector dot dA vector is equal to E into dA, that is equation number 2. For the top and bottom surface, the E vector is perpendicular to the A vector. Here E vector is perpendicular to the A vector, here also E vector perpendicular to the A vector. So E vector dot dA vectors will be 0 flux. Electric field and area will be normal, flux will be 0. Substituting these values of the equation 2 and 3 in this equation number 1. Which one? 2 and 3 will be present in the equation number 1. So, and applying a Gauss law to the cylindrical surface, we have the pi equal to curved surface integral E into dA equal to Q enclosed by epsilon naught. So this will be EdA, this is 0, so added in this equation. So top surface, bottom surface, top surface and bottom surface will be 0, remaining only curved surface. The curved surface nothing but the integral dA, only dA, integral E dA. So is nearly equal to the Gauss law. Here the linear charge density lambda equal to Q enclosed by L. V1 enclosed charge is equal to lambda into L. Since the magnitude of the electric field for the entire curved surface is constant. Magnitude of the electric field is for the entire curved surface. This is a curved surface. So entire curved surface, so field will be constant. The E is taken out of the integral. This is a E taken out of the integral out, and pi E equal to E of curved surface integral dA is equal to lambda L by epsilon naught. Here Q enclosed equal to lambda L. So substitute for the curved surface integral dA equal to 2 pi RL. This only integrated, this term only integrated, that is a dA. The surface integral 2 pi RL, the surface area of the cylinder. So E into 2 pi RL. So in the curved surface integral dA is nothing but 2 pi RL. That is the overall entire area cylindrical surfaces. So E into 2 pi RL is equal to lambda L by epsilon naught. L cancel, remaining we got E equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught into lambda by R. In vector form, E vector equal to 1 by 4 pi 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught into lambda by r into r cap. Very important equation. Hint: the electric field for the infinite charge wire is only depends upon 1 by r. The electric field is inversely proportional to 1 by r. But for the point charges, electric field is inversely proportional to square of the distance. That is inversely proportional to 1 by r square. This is r. This is Gauss law concept, but this is a Coulomb's law concept. This is Coulomb's law concept. This is Gauss law concept. This one. So that's all.